Alright, what's up, guys? Oh, let me get in better focus. It's like terrible. Alright, so today's video is we're gonna try teach how to draw a body. I'm not really good at it myself, but that's kind of, they say, like the true way to know someone is to be able to teach it to someone else, right? With like maths and all. I'm not really trying to teach maths, but I guess if you really want me to, I will. But yeah, so we're gonna try do a tutorial on the body. Obviously, we've already done faces for boy and girl. So we're gonna do the male body this video, and then I'll do the female in another video because I need more practice at that. But yeah, so you can. Some people start from the torso. Some people start from the head. Starting from the torso is probably best for dynamic poses, but for the sake of simplicity, we're gonna start with the head. So you don't remember how to draw a head, I hope. Circle. I'll just do it like front facing. You know, it's not the loveliest being, but you see something like this, and then you just that. We'll rub out all the excess stuff at the end. Now, this is going to be a bit of a weird one. The next thing I like to draw is this, for the kind of collarbone and traps, which is kind of weird. But that's what I like to do. I have made one longer than the other, which is a mistake. And this paper doesn't really agree with my rubber. But yeah, there we go. That's better. Now we get the delts in. Shoulders, I just do this sort of shape, kind of. Maybe make it a bit rounder. I will thin it out on this side. The shoulders should be kind of 3 heads wide. That's a rough rule of thumb, right? There we go. So now we have a head and shoulders, like the shampoo brand. So now we can get into drawing the chest area, which is most commonly done with a box, right? People usually do it with a box. And then shoulders connect, or the chest, sorry, connects to the shoulders, kind of like this. And then you got your line. Yeah, and eventually you will just have it all come together, a bit like that, right? Okay, good, good. I hope you're keeping up and following along. Feel free to pause if I'm going too fast. I do try not to. Sorry, I'm sit down. Just my shirt. Okay. What should we do next? Rest of the torso seems like a pretty obvious thing. So, simply extend your previous box. If I were to redo this video, I would definitely say just do a long box at the start. You need to be able to fit 3 heads into the torso roughly. So I would make the chest a bit bigger. I don't know. Anyway. So, at the bottom here, we're going to put in kind of like an underpants shape. You see that? And then merely with a bigger curve here, starting with a nice big curve for your latissimus dorsi, which is also known as your lats. Round these a bit. That's sort of the rough shape. Make sure to mark out a center line, I always forget that. Anyway. This is sort of the top of the abs, and then if you want some obliques, I like doing these little Y shapes. Oh my goodness, wham's just coming on the Spotify, let's go. Okay, so do these sort of... Yep, then we want to get these lines coming out here for the bottom of the abs. Then for the abs, I usually just do this sort of shape. Just kind of let them become the top of each other and almost. Although the purpose of this line is it's kind of meant to represent the lower ab. That's your belly button. No, it's not supposed to connect. I'm just gonna snap off a bit of this rubber. Alright, now you have your torso. Arms next. Arms, you can do a cylinder for a basic shape. Or if you want to just go straight in, it's sort of, the tricep comes out like this, and the bicep curves the other way, right? Sort of this. And the forearm curves like that, kind of, or I think it might be the other way. Who knows? Oh, but you're the teacher, you should know. Shh. Hush. Anyway. Or, you know, regular old cylinder. Never hurts a soul. Especially for foreshortening. So we'll just do cylinders. Coming out from the shoulder. Important to note, the bicep muscle, the shoulder will always hover over it, no matter what angle or what position the arm is in. Keep that in mind, students. Students. Who does buddy think he is? Curve this one slightly inward to represent the forearm. Waha. You know, I'm getting into it now. I'm unlocking flow, so I'm in the zone, if you will. So curve them slightly inward. Arms. Glorious. Now you can add some more definition. The elbow, I always just kind of do that. Make sure to forearm overlaps bicep. Maybe not like that much, but like, you know, at least a bit. We're skipping hands for now, by the way, because screw that. I mean, it's not even like I'm bad at hands, I'm just, if I have a choice between doing them and not, in the moment, oh yeah, you already know. Arms. Why is he hitting this pose? You tell me. We're not really going for poses today. I'm not the best at coming out with poses on the fly anyway. You know, this is actually in the higher tier of poses I make. Alright, we'll rub this out because then it'll look better for my thumbnail when it's all done. Honesty's the best policy, you know. Because I like watching the art YouTubers, they're kind of just real and just like, don't really lie. So I'm going to be honest about my skill and everything. Now here we have a human being, or half a human being. We have, leg. Legs, you do tapered cylinders. Kind of, do you see the forearm here? Make it bigger. That's a leg. Watch this. You ready? That's horrific. Oh my goodness. Make the thigh the same length as... because the legs are like gonna double the length. Make the thighs a lot longer than I just did. That's more like it. Also important to note, the leg curves a lot more on the outside than the inside. I'm giving myself advice in the moment, by the way. Half of this is just directed at myself when I draw. There you go. He has thighs now. He's quite well muscled on the leg area. It's because I just draw superheroes. I guess those are knees. I don't really know, bro. We just go in the moment. Anyway, now we do connect into here. These ones are straighter on the outside and curvier on the inside. And about similar-ish length. You see how we kind of have like a figure almost. Feet, just... That's horrific. Oh my god, bro. That's also terrible. Feet are... Here's something that's gonna mess with your head. You ready? Your feet are the exact same length as the forearm. And you can test this if you'd like. But yeah, your feet are the exact same length as your forearm. And that really messed with my head when I first found out about it. The feet aren't the best, but you're not here to learn how to draw feet. I barely draw feet. I always draw them in boots. And boots just don't look like that. I rarely drew from this angle too. Look, I'm washed, alright? Leave me alone. Right. As you can see, he looks like a dude, doesn't he? Maybe you could stand to make the calves a bit thinner. Like they do the legs, the kind of one blob. Maybe, although maybe this looks right. Maybe I do usually do it wrong. Hands next. How do you simplify the hands? Cuboid. Cuboids. I have decided, within just today actually, I want to start drawing my hands a bit bigger to be able to show more kind of emotion? I don't know, I just decided they'd look cool if they were like oversized. You will not say anything about my hand anatomy, or you are fired from my art course forever. There is no art course. I'm not a sellout yet. Oh, that looks awful. Freaky Fingers. This guy is going to be called Freaky Fingers McGee. No, he's not. Please forget I ever said that, especially if you're someone I know watching this. No, I'm actually going to edit that out. I don't know how to edit though, so it's probably going to stay in there. I will shut up now. Get a thumb in there. The thumb is part of the hand that I actually quite struggle with drawing. Like, what's its whole deal? You know, why does it look like that? Is that a hand? I don't know, man. Look, they're scarfed, okay? They're scarfed. I know, I understand that. Just... Okay, here's a figure. Ignore his hands, please. Please. You're gonna do the bicep, just do a little line of that. Around the shoulders a bit more. Or define them a bit more even. Obviously, there's not a particularly big connection there, but we do like to include that line. You know, maybe for the leg you can include a little bit of muscle definition there. I'm still learning where the muscles are on the figure, if I'm being completely honest with you. You know, Oh my god. I chose the wrong camera angle for this. I am just filming this holding my phone. So this looks enough like a dude, right? I'm not qualified to do tutorials, by the way, just so you know that. And now guess what we're gonna do, guys? We're gonna erase, like I said earlier. Don't know if that actually is what the model looks like. Feel free to include some nips, unless you want him to look like a Ken doll. Do we draw a face? Why not? Actually, yeah, no, I've already said I will, and I don't want to be one who's like clickbaiters, do I? Bear in mind, I'm doing it one-handed, so it's not my fault if it looks rubbish. Not my fault if it looks rubbish, I'm doing it one-handed. It's kind of, wait, he kind of looks like our cards from last time, doesn't he? It's like our cards from last time. If he was drawn significantly worse, yet also significantly better muscled. Don't know where my drawn hair skills have gone today, but I'm sure they'll come back soon. Don't worry about it. It's a guy. You know, he looks a lot better than I thought he would, and that speaks a lot about my typical quality, doesn't it? This is my average from imagination drawing. But, you know, I'm sure with enough practice, I will reach a better stage where I can be very much happier with my artwork. So there we go. That kind of concludes how to draw a dude person. And just let you see the whole thing. There you go. That's how you draw a man. I hope you've learned something. Just remember, I kind of just remember this. All right, we'll just recap. But head, circle, and connect jaw. That's not a jaw, but it doesn't matter. Neck, collarbone, shoulders using those kind of circly. Just using a normal circle would be wiser, honestly. Then long box, center line, connect pectorals through shoulder, define rest of musculature if you want, optional. Arms, you do cylinders with a tapered one at the end. Underpanties shape. Hands. Leg. Leg. Gee willikers. Not like, I think I got the legs mixed up there. You know, it... Gee willikers. We're hiding that. You're not allowed to see how bad I've just butchered that. That's the basic recap. Legs and calf cylinders. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to lose at ranked on Marvel Rivals for half an hour. So have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you want to. I'm not forcing you or anything. Wow, those are cool Christmas jumpers. Sorry, I just got an ad for some Marvel Christmas jumpers on my YouTube. Watching YouTube while making YouTube. I know. Anyway. That was a have a good day. You know, remember, not everything has to turn out perfect. It just has to turn out in a way where you can learn. You know, like, look, this is one of the bodies that I drew recently. Today, even. I'm clearly not an expert on this. You know? Like, but like faces, obviously, I feel like faces I have locked down. I really like this one in particular. Like if I were to redo how to draw a girl, it would look a bit more like that. You know. Where am I even going anymore, bro? Where am I even going? Look, that was only a few months ago. It's guts berserk. Look, this is how my body's looked back in July. You can make a lot of progress in not a lot of time, okay? So keep at it. You got this. Make sure to follow my Instagram if you want to see my actual drawings that are finished, colored, good. If, you know, not to toot my own horn. Yeah. Do you want to say bye, muscular sir? He says bye, I promise. Right, later.